Welcome back to Durban now, where South Africa's heritage and culture is on display at this year's Tourism Indaba. Let's cross live now to eNCA anchor Eleni Giokos, who is at the Durban International Convention Centre. Now, Eleni, when a lot of visitors think of touring SA, they typically think of coastal places such as Durban and Cape Town. But how does Johannesburg fare as a tourist destination?
A very good question, and this is the point that a lot of people actually come to Johannesburg to shop. It's about retail, but also they come to take a look at our heritage, and that is the main theme. What's interesting to note, Mabala, that over the next 3 years, around 30 billion rand is going to be spent on infrastructure in Johannesburg alone. 30 billion rand. Joining me now to discuss this further is a member of the mayoral committee for economic development in Johannesburg, Ruby Mathang. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Great to have you on eNCA. 30 billion rand, and this is what we talk about, the multiplier effect of tourism, that when you see infrastructure spending to increase tourism, it just creates jobs, it creates an economic hub.
We're quite excited about the work that's coming to Johannesburg because the focus really is around the multiplier effect, the money that the city is going to spend on the effect that's going to have on people of Johannesburg. The city is going to spend in the next 10 years 110 billion just on capital infrastructure. So you can imagine if our roads are working well, our robots are working well, and the city is actually working well. That on its own is an attraction. People would want to go to places that are working very well, where functioning of the city is the best. We're putting now, just on Ria Vaya, capital infrastructure just to spread the entire mobility of Johannesburg. People can access from one part of the city to the other with ease, both in terms of walking, in terms of transport that's there. Biased towards what we are going to be doing is around public transport, because we want to lessen more. There should be less on cars, but more around public transport.
So the next 3 years, 30 billion. You mentioned 110 billion until 2022. This is a lot of spending.
That's huge.
I mean, you're talking about this predominantly coming through on transport, because I suppose that is the big weakness of Johannesburg, isn't it?
It is. And that's why the mayor realized that transport is one of the key. Any successful city, it is through its transport that you can see the economy thriving. So part of the money would be going to transport, but other related tourism money that would actually be putting this. So we're quite excited. We look forward, but more interesting is that we're actually partnering with business. Every last Friday of every month, we're meeting with 11 different Chamber of Commerce at a thing called Johannesburg Development Forum, where we're advised by business on preferred spending by government. So we take things that they're saying, and we're doing exactly according to their advice.
What I find fascinating is that Johannesburg CBD has amazing jewels, and we are the city that has, and I say we, this is because I'm based in Johannesburg, we have the most neoclassical architecture in the world in one city. We're not tapping into this. Why is that, and is it going to change going forward?
In the plan that we have, we want to use that rich heritage, because if you look at the Victorian buildings that we have, we want to use that as a part of the strengthening what Johannesburg is going to be doing. Going forward, we want to use some of the strong cultural precincts that we have. I mean, we've started. You saw the red bus coming to Johannesburg. That's part of the exciting things that as Johannesburg that will actually be involved. Partnering with private business, ensuring that we can maximize on partnerships.
All right, we're running out of time. Very quickly, what about crime? Very quickly.
Now, you know, if you ask that question, the mayor of Johannesburg has just been voted, has just been elected at the World Forum. He's the president of Safer Cities. We're putting strategies. We have a city strategy, safer city strategy. We think that's not enough. The city now is strengthening that strategy. Going forward, we want to address crime in a very serious way. We're increasing around JMPD. We're increasing, working close with the CPFs. We're going to be spreading on the work that we're doing.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Ruby. Much appreciated for your time. Great to speak to you, Ruby Mathang, and he is a member of Mayoral Committee for Economic Development in Johannesburg. Mabale, back to you.
Thank you very much to eNCA anchor Eleni Giokos.
News that moves. eNCA.com.